Hi, Assalamualaikum. This week we are going to learn a new chapter, Chapter 6, Alternating Current. So in this chapter we have 4 subtopics. I'm going to explain the first subtopic, which is 6.1, Alternating Current. Okay, let's see what is the definition of alternating current. Alternating current, or we can just use AC, is defined as an electric current whose direction changes periodically. Okay, before this, in chapter 3, we learned about DC, which stands for direct current. So when we connect a component to a battery, we know that the current will flow from positive to negative in one direction only. That is why we call it as a direct current. Okay, in AC, okay, the word alternating here meaning that it will always alternate, changes direction. So it will change direction periodically. Periodically meaning that from time to time. So when we have a component connect to an AC power supply, so this is the symbol that we are going to use to represent an AC power supply. We will notice that the current will keep on changing direction. Okay, so when the current keep on changing direction, we can see that the current will start from 0 and then it goes to maximum, goes back to 0 and then goes back to minimum, goes back to 0. So the cycle will repeat. Dia akan start pada kosong, pergi maximum, pergi kosong balik, pergi minimum. So this is why we will get a sine wave when we sketch the graph of current against time. So sama juga untuk voltage against time. We will get a sine wave. So mathematically we can write an expression for the current and for the voltage. So untuk current, we will use this expression I is equal to I naught, di mana I naught dekat sini adalah peak current. So peak current is these two value. It will be the same value. Kalau dekat sini 2 ampere, dekat sini pun akan jadi 2 ampere, but it will be negative. Negative is just to show the direction is in the opposite direction. But in this case, we always we will only take the magnitude sahaja. We don't care about the direction. And then here for voltage sama juga, it's the same expression, but we just change it to voltage. V is equal to V naught. V naught is the peak voltage, sine omega t. Okay, so as you notice here, we have the sine expression, meaning that we are going to have a few terminology that we have already learned in the previous semester. So we will use period, di mana period adalah time taken for one complete cycle. So one complete cycle start pada kosong and then balik kepada kosong, we will get the value for period. If we want it to start from here, then dia akan berbalik kepada tempat asal. So this value is also the value for period. So it doesn't matter as long as di mana kamu start, dekat situ juga kamu akan kembali. So that will be the value for the period. And then we have frequency. You know frequency is a number of cycle in 1 second. And then angular frequency, omega, just to describe how fast an object rotates. Or in this chapter, it is to describe how fast sine waves oscillates. This is the formula for angular frequency. And then we also have peak current ataupun maximum current, I naught. So we only take magnitude. Okay, macam yang Miss mention tadi, just the magnitude of that current. And then peak or maximum voltage, sama juga, we only take the magnitude of the voltage. Okay, we will look at the example for this subtopic in the next video. That's all for 6.1.